Hello and welcome to another video. In this video I will be showcasing Miltank as a very strong lead Pokemon in the Love Cup. The way this team works is you have a Pokemon that's going to win a lot of leads, and then you have two Pokemon in the back that form a very strong core, meaning that if you win the lead, you're going to benefit greatly from getting your Pokemon aligned correctly. It also works in the way that if you lose the lead, you have two Pokemon in the back that can counter what Miltank is weak to. Going right into the first game, we lead into Macago. This is actually a bad lead for Miltank, but you kind of have to stay in because Charizard really does not want to see Macago. They shield the first move, which is a bit surprising, and go for the overheat and swap into a Charmer, and immediately this is looking a lot like Macago double charm, which is very bad because I have Medicham in the back. But I go for the Blast Burn on CMP. I thought he would no shield, but he ends up shielding, so I kind of have to shield. And then I over farm to the max and go for another Blast Burn. You probably bring in Macago again, which he does. I throw the Dragon Claw and bring in my Medicham onto this Macago, and he brings in Clefable. This is looking very rough, but I have some energy stored on that Miltank, so I throw the Psychic here, swap into my Miltank, throw the Thunderbolt. Can we take out the Clefable? We take it out, and now we have Medicham onto the Macago, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this is just turned into a win. I thought I would lose against Double Charm, but cool. Next game, we lead into an Alomomola, which is a very good lead, or not a very good lead, but a good lead. You lose the Zero Shields if Alomomola goes for a Hydro Pump, but because this is just a Psychic, you can win the Zero Shields easily, even despite getting a defense drop. Go for another Thunderbolt, it doesn't KO, and that's just about good to my Body Slam, meaning either I grab a shield or I win the lead. He gives me a shield and throws a Psychic onto my Medicham, which I can live easily, then swaps in Ariados. Always no shield the first move against Ariados, because Cross Poison can give it the boost, and you don't want to take a boost Cross Poison. They shield my Blast Burn and go for another one, and at this point I could have thrown the Dragon Claw there, but I wasn't sure it would KO. Good detail to remember. If I throw the Dragon Claw there and it doesn't KO, he gets off his Cross Poison anyways, and then I'm just gonna come out of the matchup down both shields and with no energy. So instead I play it safe and I don't throw my move, meaning I can shield and then just farm down the Ariados afterwards, come out with a lot of energy instead. And in the back there's a Medicham. I wait a second before throwing my move because I know he has the Alomomola catch, and well, I win the match. Next game we lead into Lickitung. This is a very good lead. You take double resisted damage from the licks, and the body slams basically do nothing. You just outpace the Lickitung. The way that you can count the Lickitung's energy is it takes 12 licks for it to get to a body slam, and it takes 4 rollouts for you to get to a body slam. So you just count your own rollouts, and for every 4 rollout you make, it's gonna be at a body slam. You can do the same with 2-turn moves, with 6 2-turn moves, or 3 4-turn moves for Lickitung to get to a move. And, well, we win the lead. This is very rough. Either I have to just stay in and let myself get farmed down to get Charizard onto this, or I have to swap in Charizard. I don't want this thing to get too much energy. I think that would just be game. So I swap in my Charizard, and I'm met with an Alomomola after spending my shield. This is very, very rough. But I get to 2 Blast Burns. And we get a shield. Bring in Medicham. And I'm thinking, if this is a Hydro Pump and I shield it, I might be able to just farm this all the way down. And because I've done so much damage to Slowbro already, it's in Psychic range. And we get to farm it all the way down and come out with almost 2 Psychics. Throw the first one, they let it go, and yeah, Medicham beats the Slowbro. Awesome. Galarian Slowbro. Next lead into Charizard. Another good lead for Miltank. I throw the Body Slam immediately, which is probably not the right play. I should have definitely threatened the Thunderbolt, but yeah, we shield the Blast Burn. They bring in the Alomomola, which is also not good against Miltank, so we stay in. Throw the Thunderbolt on CMP. I should have undercharged this just in case he no-shielded. That way I would get more farm for Medicham, but because he shielded it doesn't matter. I bring in Medicham. And here instead of throwing my Psychic, if I throw my Psychic, I do take it out, but the Charizard is just going to come in and outpace me. So this way, I'm just going to be a lot more threatening with my energy. He brings in Medicham instead of Charizard, which is not ideal. But we do get to 2 Psychics, but my switch timer is not up. We do get a shield, which is awesome. Bring in Charizard and catch the Psychic on Miltank. Yes, and opponents knows what's up. In the next game, we lead into a Shadow Slowbro, also a good lead for Miltank. They swap out the Medicham immediately, we swap Charizard, standard. They get to a move, it is a Psychic that we shield up. And because they have gotten a shield, I'm thinking they're probably okay with just having a shield advantage, which is why I threw the Blast Burn. Also, if they shield it, I have to just have another one. So I'm pretty certain they won't shield. They bring back in Shadow Slowbro, go for a Dragon Claw, and then for a Blast Burn, because I'm only gonna get to 1 move, and Blast Burn does more damage. Then bring back in Miltank. They throw their move immediately. And I throw on like pretty awkward timing, but I just want to get rid of it really before taking too much fast move damage. And it's a Wigglytuff in the back. Another Charmer against my Medicham, but I get up a Thunderbolt. And this is not as bad as you might think, because you do neutral damage with counters. Medicham can actually put up a fight against Wigglytuff. And we end up taking it out. Medicham wins the game for us. Next game, we lead into a Medicham. Yikes. Very yikes. I usually swap in my own Medicham here. They stay in, throw a Psychic, and then swap into Lickitung. Go for a Psychic. They just about outpace us to the next move. And I let it go. And I'm thinking if I can get a lot of energy on Miltank, I might be able to threaten that Medicham. That's what I'm going for. Again, Lickitung just doesn't output a lot of damage. So I just want to try and get out of this matchup with as much energy as possible, which is why I undercharged that charge move as well, just to get some more rollouts. I'm okay with taking another Body Slam. Throw a Body Slam at Medicham, then swap into Charizard. What do they have? They have a Seaking. Yikes. Seaking usually likes to shield the first move, because it can debuff with Icy Wind, so pretty much always bait it. Go up to another move, and we bait again. And they shield again, and we get to a Blast Burn on CMP. It still does a lot of damage, despite it being debuffed and resisted. We shield the Icy Wind. I realize I can't farm it down, so swap in Miltank, get to my first Body Slam, get to the second Body Slam. Does it take out the Medicham? It does. Now the Seaking comes in, it has almost no health, it goes for charge move, takes out my Miltank. Can we take it out with Charizard? No! It's a tie, but still, a tie against the Medicham lead is a good result. Next game, leading into Wormadam. This is a bad lead for Miltank, but it's not really bad. It's okay to stay in here, I feel. Go for Thunderbolts. It goes for a Bug Buzz, does a lot of damage. Go for another Thunderbolt. We grab a shield. And I'm thinking, yeah, Charizard up a shield. Let's swap it in, see what it can do. And they swap in a Drodigon, which is really not a response to Charizard. You see how much damage that Dragon Claw does? Like, we can just shield once, farm it all the way down here. come out with a bunch of energy and Charizard. Then they come in Lickitung and Slowbro, so they didn't really have a response to Charizard despite leading Wormadam. We go for a Blast Burn, they shield it, now they have no shields. But this is awkward because a Psychic just doesn't do enough damage from this range. But they swap in Wormadam, and we catch a move on Miltank. And, well, a non-boosted Psychic doesn't kill the Slowbro. What about a boosted Psychic? We farm the Wormadam all the way down, come out with so much energy that we can actually go for another power-up punch just to ramp up the attack before going for the Psychic. And at this point, is it enough? It is. Medicham takes out another Galarian Slowbro, which is supposed to be one of its hardest counters. Against the Crossle lead, you lose the 1 shield, but you win the 0 shield. So just no shield, and you're gonna get some sort of advantage. Either shield advantage or switch advantage. Of course, go straight Thunderbolt. Go for the second Thunderbolt. What will they do? They let it go, and we get switch. They farm us down with Medicham, and we have a Charizard in the back, meaning we can benefit a lot from winning this switch advantage. Go for a Psychic, we shield it up. Go for the Blast Burn. They no shield it, and bring in a Slowbro. Yikes, this is a bit rough for Medicham, but I do swap in Medicham regardless. And I let this Psychic go. And I'm thinking I can get to 2 Psychics. So I throw the first one, but I realize I cannot. That was a misplay. I have to go for the pop now, because this confusion is going to take me out. And he still has a shield. No point in throwing a charge move. Can we take it? Yeah, we take it out with 1 HP with Charizard. Whew. Another Lickitung lead. Another Medicham swap in. And another Charizard counter swap. This is just pretty standard. They go for the Ice Punch. And I'm thinking, you know, if they want to go for another Ice Punch, that's fine by me. I can just go for a Dragon Claw here. Undercharge it. Farm Medicham all the way down and come out with 2 Blast Burns. They bring in their own Charizard. This might be resisted, but boom! And we have another one. Well, are they just gonna let this go? They are! And now they have a Lickitung against a Medicham and a Miltank. At this point, they should probably just concede the match. But yeah, I guess credit for staying in and trying to win. You never know. Sometimes you're gonna pull off some crazy things, but I don't think this is one of them. We shield their Body Slam, and at this point we're just gonna farm it all the way down. Easy. Next game, we lead into a Dradigon, another good lead. Here the Dradigon should definitely go for a Dragon Claw, but they go for a Night Slash. And we just outpace. Like 2 Body Slams is enough to kill here. So yeah, they have to shield, then they do. They try to CMP us. We don't allow it. Go for another rollout, go for the Body Slam. And if they no shield this, we win switch and come out with a move. But they shield it, go down shield, and yeah. This is fine because we can just farm it down with Medicham, take the Dragon Claw. They swap in Medicham. This is just a safe shield because even if they pop betas, we can just go up to the Blast Burn and throw it on CMP on their Psychic and then still come out with a lot of HP, come out with a lot of energy. They have a Alomomola, of course. I hate this fish so much. Get to the Blast Burn, get to the Dragon Claw, and put it into Psychic range. We just have to make sure that this thing can't catch the Psychic on Dradigon. So I throw in the middle of the waterfall, and we take it out. The Dradigon doesn't have enough energy, so we take that out as well, win the game. Miltank into another of these stupid fish. They bring in an Ariados, and this is a very common team. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a Medicham in the back, meaning I have to win switch. I go for the Blast Burn, because if I Dragon Claw bait and they call it, I have to shield and I might go down a shield. I don't want to risk that. So Blast Burning is just the safe play. They bring back in Alomomola. We get to Dragon Claw. It does get to a bit of energy here, which is not nice. But they throw after only 7 waterfalls, meaning it's only a psychic. I can take that easily. They bring in Medicham as expected, and instead of just swapping into my own Medicham, I decide to stay in and throw 2 body slams to put it into a psychic range, meaning it might be ahead of on energy, but it has to throw 2 psychics to take me out, and I only have to throw 1 psychic to take it out, meaning this is still a good matchup for my Medicham. And I actually go for the bait here. I just had a feeling he would shield, and he did. We shield again. We shielded the first psychic, we shield the second psychic, and here I realized we can just farm it all the way down before it gets to a third psychic. But instead they swap in a Alomomola, and it's dry because it threw all of its energy on my Miltank earlier. So I'm just gonna be able to get to all of the power-up punches. And we even get to another one. And Alomomola just doesn't even have a chance. It's just going to be taken out. And yeah, the opponent concedes. Next game, we lead into Charizard. Another good lead. This time, I decide to play it properly. I shield the first one. Then go for the body slam. It was a blast burn, which is nice. Go for another body slam. They shield. And at this point I'm thinking I can probably live a blast burn just about and get to a body slam. But I don't get to my body slam because they make a very nice snipe with their Medicham, meaning I can't get off my energy. This is a bit awkward now. I do bring in my Charizard, but I kind of have to make a call here, and I do, and it's a pop. Awesome. And now this is just a safe shield because I'm gonna get to my blast burn regardless. And I allow them to throw another power-up punch. I don't really mind. I just want to get out of this with as much energy as possible. They sacked that Charizard. I don't really understand this play. Because, I mean, their Medicham was worthless anyway, so why save it? But yeah, they bring it back in, and I decide to save all the energy on my Charizard. And I don't want to take a Psychic, so I throw a power-up punch to take it out. And it's a Lickitung in the back. They can see, because they don't stand a chance there. Next game, we lead into the mirror. Just 2 cows looking at each other, seeing who can jump highest. 1 cow deciding to throw its body on the other cow. The other cow deciding it wants to throw its body on the first cow as well. And this just continues that way. Very exciting. Throw another body slam. And we catch the third body slam on Medicham. I'm thinking my Medicham is probably worthless in the back because when people usually have 2 responses to Medicham where they lead Miltank, and they do have 1 at least in their own Psycho Cut Medicham. Psycho Cut Medicham gets to Psychic after 7 and then 6 for the next couple of Psychics. And it can get to a dynamic punch after 5 if it throws a psychic first. So I decide to CMP tie it and then bring in my Charizard on a dry Medicham. And here again, I CMP tie him once again. And the Dragon Claw, I take out the Medicham. Brings in Lickitung, then brings in Miltank. I know my Miltank usually wins CMP, so I go for 2 body slams here and take it out, unless he shields. He doesn't. And yeah, this is pretty much game. He has to overfarm a lot, but by overfarming, he is also allowing me to put him into blast burn range. And I have a lot of energy on my Charizard. And by overfarming even more, he allows me to put him into Dragon Claw range. And I think I already have 2 Dragon Claws stored. I just want him to throw some energy at this point. And yeah, I do have 2 Dragon Claws, and he realizes it, and no shields is Lickitung, because it would just be a waste of time. Last game, we lead into Medicham. Yikes. Swap in our own Medicham immediately. And I think they had some one turn desync lag because we catch up to their like to get to the same energy and we get a counter through. They go for a bait with the ice punch, and then they swap in their Slowbro, which confuses me a little bit because why did they not just swap this in immediately? I go for the power up punch there, not as a bait, but because I knew I wasn't gonna get to 2 psychics, so I'd rather ramp up my attack before throwing the psychic. And here we go for a body slam just before they get to their next move, because I don't want to shield and I don't want to take the move. I can't take the move. Then swap in Charizard immediately, expecting the Medicham to come in. They have a Charizard. They had 2 responses to Medicham, and yet they stayed in with their own Medicham in the lead. I'm quite confused. Go for another bait. They no shielded, and I'm thinking the Medicham is just so low at this point. I can just farm the Charizard all the way down with my Miltank because he's switch locked, or they're switch locked. So I'm just gonna come in, roll out the Charizard all the way down, spend a shield, and then come out with almost 2 body slams, and 1 body slam should be enough to take out the Medicham. Can we take out the Medicham with a Miltank? Is it enough? Have I miscalculated? I have not. Miltank is a Medicham counter, and we reach 34-42 elo to end the day. Really cool. That was the last battle for today. But before you leave, I just want to give you a fun fact of the day, being that Shadow Sableye can win the Zero Shields against Noctowl in Great League. This is not because of Power Gem, it's because 2 foul plays knock out the Noctowl and you get to the foul plays at the same time as Noctowl gets to its Sky attacks and you win CMP. You do need a little bit of attack on your Sableye, so don't use like a rank 1 or anything like that. I would recommend simming it against a default IV Noctowl, because most people run a bit of attack on their Noctowl as well to get the breakpoint and Stunfisk. But just look up if your Shadow Sableye can do it and make one that's capable of it, because this is a pretty huge matchup to pick up. Other than that, I just want to thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.